Hi friends, Bernadette here with Sweet Cakes 418. I am going to do a little demonstration today on how I make my gum paste roses, and I'm also going to show you how I put the calyx on it. But before I start that, I just want to do a little shout out here. You know, the world just needs a little bit more love, peace, and compassion for each other. You know, we should just be honoring our differences and spreading a little beauty and being kinder to each other. You know, a smile goes a long way. You just never know what someone's going through, and if you make eye-to-eye contact when you're out there in the public, give them a nice warm smile and a hello. It could make a difference for someone. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into our flowers. Okay, so here I am rolling out some gum paste that I have colored green. My bride wants green flowers and silver, and then I'm going to talk to her about maybe adding some other color as well. What I'm doing here is made a darker green for the calyx. This goes at the base of the rose, and it makes it look more realistic. So I'm just, kind of stretching it out with the ball tool just to give it a little bit, a larger appearance, so that when I put it at the base of the flower here, it covers the white styrofoam. Unfortunately, I didn't make it big enough, and you can still see some of the white, but when I either airbrush it or luster dust it and also steam it, you won't be able to see that white. So that's the calyx. Now I will show you how I made the rose. Probably should have showed you that first, but, well, I didn't. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, friends, I'm going to demonstrate making the rose buds for my bride's cake. I am getting ready to roll this out. You really want to roll your gum paste quite thin. It just makes the rose look a lot more realistic. So spread your cornstarch out, put your gum paste down, and just start rolling. And just roll little pieces at a time, because gum paste really does dry very, very fast. So this looks about right, maybe just a couple more rolls here. And then I will get my little styrofoam bud. I measured to see what size petal I need, and it should fit the bud exactly. We cut out 5 pieces, 5 petals, I should say, and then put your gum paste that you are not using in a plastic bag. Even the short amount of time here can dry it out pretty quickly. So in between cutting out more petals, you want to keep your gum paste nice and protected. So I'm putting a little bit of edible glue on the styrofoam. I'm going to use a ball tool and thin out the edges of the petals. This gives it a more realistic look. So we just want to thin them out, go around all 5 of them. And then I sometimes do the middle a little bit just to give it a really nice ruffle. And once that's done, it's ready to adhere to the styrofoam petal. Now there's 2 ways to make roses. This one, I'm using the styrofoam bud, and then I'll show you in another video how to make them without using a bud. I usually use the bud for larger roses, and then for each smaller rose, I don't bother using a bud, and I'll show you how I do that. So basically, you're just putting some edible glue on the bud, and you're putting it on your gum paste, just about 1/4 of an inch in. you'll put another petal. You see right here, there I put a little bit of edible glue. I put a petal on, and then I wrap it around and just start forming the petals into a rosebud. And we'll do this a couple times depending on how large you want your flower. That's how many layers you do. And then you shape it. You can kind of pull the petals out a little bit. You know, if you want a closed bud, you'd leave it closed. If you want an open bud, you start pulling the little petals out. And that is all there is to it. So go ahead and give it a try. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I'd be happy to help you through the process. Thanks for watching.